Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's PNW05STI. This is going to be vlog number 2. This video, we're kind of just going to go over the car a little bit. We're going to kind of talk about why I did things the way I did with the build. I've done all the work to this car except building the actual long block itself. I assisted with the install of the long block. Everything else was installed by me, however, like the 6-speed, the drive shaft, the rear diff, all the suspension bits. Everything was all installed. For the build, I wanted to keep it simple. I wanted to look OEM as possible. I didn't want it to look over the top. That's why I chose the Grimspeed top mount. Chose a stock location turbo. So when you refer to a Subaru header, this is going to be the OEM header on a WRX or STI and other turbo Subarus, as long as it's not a 2010 Legacy GT with the lower mount turbo. The OEM header or aftermarket header will then go into the up pipe, which goes into the bottom of the turbo. The up pipe goes into the bottom of the turbo there, and you can see the down pipe, which is a divorce down pipe. The divorce down pipe is going to run into the catback exhaust system. This is a catted down pipe. Rear O2 sensor. This is going to be the catback. When someone refers to a catback, this is going to be what a catback is. Usually consists of 2 sections, the muffler and the mid pipe. Some mid pipes will be resonated and some are not. As for the interior, I wanted to go with the black interior. As you can see, we have the 2018 STI Recaros in my STI. The first thing that you have to really do is get the stock mounts off. They're riveted on there pretty strong, and it takes quite a bit of work to get them off. But once you get it off, it's definitely rewarding. The seats are very comfortable. I still have to hook up the heated seat portion. Once that is done, this car is gonna be awesome in the winter. I'm getting the interior ready for the heated seat, so I have the 07 STI Limited heated seat switches already there. Just have to get them all wired up. The window switchers are out of a 2006 Forester. All the sight glasses light up on the Forester versus the Impreza were just the driver's side one. So this was just another OEM Plus mod that I wanted to do. All 2005 and newer STIs are going to come with the automatic climate control system. The 2004 STI is going to have the manual climate control, which you'll see like the manual slider for the fresh air or the recycled air control. And then I also added the headlight leveler out of the 06 STI and also the heated seat switch out of the 07 STI Limited, so that way when this car is running the heated seats, it is as OEM as possible. Another exclusive on the STI is the OEM water sprayer. This was on the 2004 to 2007 USDM STIs. They also brought it in later in some special edition US STIs, like the S209 being one of them. So we'll spray a quick blast of the water or whatever you have in the water tank on the top mount, or some people relocate it to the front mount intercoolers. It has the water sprayer in there that you can fill up with plain water, or I like to add a little bit of alcohol in there just to make the water more cool when I am spraying. As you can see, the trunk in the STI is pretty bare bones. There's not much to it. The back seats in these are not the biggest. They are definitely not a family car, but definitely can get your friends around when you need it. This is out of a 05 WRX, the rear seats, center armrest, and the fold down. I don't have the pass through. I actually have the sound deadening there. This is the new 3M carbon fiber wrap. As you can see, it's very glossy compared to the older 3M material they used to use. This is one thing I wanted to do to give it an updated look like the STI Type RA. If you want to run the STI 19-inch wheels, you'll definitely need to run a 5mm spacer up front to clear the 4-pot Brembos. They will not clear the 4-pot Brembos without it. You'll definitely have rubbing on the inside. No fitment issues in the back. I'm still playing with the ride height to find that perfect balance of good handling and great looks with the 19s. I do plan on adding a 10mm spacer on the back, so I have 10 in the rear and then 5 up front will be the goal eventually. And then Once these tires wear out, I might bump up to a 255, 35, 19 over these 245, 35, 19-inch tires. All right, let's give you a little acceleration. So I went the 20G turbo just because I didn't want a lot of lag. I'm really happy with the 20G so far. If you guys have a turbo that you like, that you went from the 20G to, that you feel is just as comparable, definitely leave it in the comments. So that's the nice thing about the modifying aspect of these cars, is that you can always change something if you don't like it. You know, it does cost money unless you do find a used good deal, and sometimes you can find some great deals used. One thing I do appreciate about Subarus is that torquey feeling, especially once you start tuning them. The 2.5 will definitely give you that in the seat torque feel if you're coming from like a V6 or V8 Mustang or anything like that, and you're cross comparing with an STI and you're not sure if you're gonna miss the feeling of your V8. I definitely think you would enjoy the STI, and if you drive one that has a tune on it, you're gonna really be impressed with how the car picks up. Even on the stock turbo with a tune, it definitely wakes it up compared to the stock boost levels. With the amount of sound deadening I've done, just doing the floors, doing the trunk, and then I did the little divider piece between the seats, it definitely has cut down on road noise. I think if you did the rear shelf, that would cut down a lot coming from the trunk. But just doing the level I did now, like, the car is definitely a lot more livable for everyday driving, and you can talk without having to raise your voice too much. So far, I have about 5,000 miles on this build so far. Alright guys, that completes this vlog. I hope you found it informative. If you want to see anything, definitely drop in the comments. If you're in the market for a WRX or STI and have any questions on ownership cost or what I feel to look out for in buying a used one, definitely ask me. I definitely recommend getting a pre-purchase inspection done by any independent Subaru shop or even the dealership if you have to. But just definitely get them checked over, because, I mean, it can visually look like a great car and it could turn out to be a $12,000 mistake. So that's it for this vlog. You guys got anything you want to see or hear, definitely drop in those comments. Until next time, follow the Instagram, subscribe to the YouTube channel, PNW_05STI_. All right, peace out, guys.